Hey, um, seeds. My name's Justin Joseph, and yeah, I've been involved in seeds since probably COVID. So 2020, after having Franz Joseph come and speak at a event we had online for Blockbase, and feeling really inspired by him. And I joined a few Constitution calls, and then became a really kind of big yeah. I began to contribute a lot um, uh, through ambassadorship, through working with local land projects, and particularly through Samara, which was kind of a Haifa-backed DAO that was designed to kind of be an auxiliary or support the movement of movements by finding and experimenting with new ways of actually creating organizations in this regenerative renaissance. And a lot of came from that. The Chronicles of Samara, many different organizations. We ended up building new organizations like Samara Trust, and that's also branched out into into many ventures as well. So we've kind of gotten to see the pollination happen through our work over time. But what brought me to this space, I think, yeah, just appreciating Reiki's video one. I'm at this, I'm at a finca in Poptune, Guatemala, called Finca Isabel, and yeah, it's quite a beautiful place to be. I think it has a lot of. It's not really a regenerative land project, to be honest with you, and it's been really interesting and fascinating to be here and to watch and see that, and to be in right relationship with that, with all the work that we have and that I do. Here, let me kind of bring it home. So, why am I in this space? I don't know why I'm in seeds in this moment. I think I grew up the last 3 years. All of my life was changed by being in seeds. I just didn't know what it was like to be a global citizen, to try to coordinate and to decentralize distributed autonomous organization. I had never really built and worked with, and yeah, I just grew up the last 3 years, last 2 years, 2020. I've just grown up a lot, and seeds, working with Haifa, working in Samara, it really was a catalyst for my understanding of regeneration, of Web3, of kind of the global, social, hyper-local coordination challenge of doing work that supports these land-based projects, but doing so in a way that allows for coordination at global scales. I mean, we really try to tackle it all, and this space has been a space of growth and learning and development for me, and I don't know that I found another space like it in all the different Web3 environments I've been in, and also definitely not in my local place-based experiences. It's really, yeah, a rare learning ecosystem. What do I need? What needs are trying to be met in this space? Yeah, I think I'm just now getting to a place. This is probably gonna be longer than 3 minutes and 33 seconds. Sorry, Rocky, or sorry, whoever's watching it. Hopefully, it's interesting. But I think my needs are. Yeah, I'm just now coming to the capacity to be able to understand. I came with a lot of startup background and a lot of kind of leadership, human development perspective. Kind of a deep spiritual practice integrated with a perspective on building ventures from the ground up, while doing so with a kind of a top-down understanding. So how do we build new things and systems that exist? And I was really good at that, but I think I really struggled with the ability to understand the economics, especially finances. And having built organizations in seeds, having worked with seeds, having gotten funding for organizations through seeds, both with Samara and Samara Trust, being a part of grant programs now, kind of hiring and paying people in our organization, I've gotten to learn and grow and mature a lot around economics and finance, and also I'm just now starting to understand, how possibly seeds as an economic tool can be used to allow for viable living for individuals who are contributing and showing up in the work, and I still don't know. so I think one of my greatest needs is kind of continuing to understand very practically how to use things like local stake, um, um, how to confidently lead in this ecosystem, or just in the world, right? In my life, do so in a way that not only brings together great ideas and great people and inspires and coordinates and Jorge, but also allows them to live in this new life and do so in a viable way. So I think that's the thing that is still a need. You know, I sent someone an invitation to Seeds, kind of a new business partner, and it was like 33, you know, just a whole thing around that. But you know, I have like 10 grand plus, and Samara has a lot more in Seeds, and according to the wallet, and as I was sending the seeds for free, which was really beautiful, it kind of just dawned on me that, like, you know, well, how can this really be $10,000 for me? You know, how can I understand how to do that really well? And I find that I don't, in some ways still. And so although we were able to figure out a lot of things about organizational design, kind of creating new forms of spaces and coordination, communication, we have a great infrastructure developed. We developed all kinds of rhythms and ways to record and recognize people and their successes. We were able to gather funding twice, 2 or 3 times, I guess, and we're continuing to get grants. I still don't know how to land. I still don't know how to do that well with Seeds, and I think that's a loss, because I think it's something very practical and beautiful that's there in the technology and the constitution and the ethos that people are calling for now more than ever, and it's just beyond my understanding and grasp. And I want to. I see Seeds as a learning ecosystem. I think this is a place where you can come and trade and explore and challenge and believe and fight for and try and experiment and prototype. Like, you can do it all here in a way, and you have this easy to access passport. You have this really affordable cryptocurrency. You don't have to deal with a lot of things. You have a DAO. You have pretty mapped out, you know, Reiki's and everyone, Mark, and I don't know Alexandria yet. I think her name was Courtney, in the gratitude talk, and I just, you know, like I think Sven made a new book, and all the work of, you know, Danny and Irina and Anna and Max and people that maybe they're known to you guys, but Joachim, I mean, goodness gracious, that dude makes the best decks in the world. He just designs all this shit. The new collaboratory DAO design is cool with the nucleus, and I mean, I think, you know, there's so much good shit here, and I just want to, I want to kind of, this is kind of the next question, I guess, like what am I bringing? Sorry, this is just windy, but I ain't been here in a minute, so I figured I'd take a little time. Let's see. Yeah, I think so. Samara was really kind of creating this idea that you can have this deep, that to be part of regenerative living and regenerative renaissance, you got to get in touch with the spirit, right? So it's not just about the technology or the tools, it's about the spirit that is animating the people, inspiring the work, inspiring the organization, and then bridging that spirit, the ethos of an organization, into practical forms that allow for human beings to coordinate in order to learn and grow, and then bring something out into the world and establish it as service. And so we built all kinds of models and learned firsthand how to do that, and watch kind of what I call like a generational succession happen. So we probably had, I called it like 5 or 6 generations of Samara. And so you kind of have this founding group, and then they led the way, and then another group came on, and then that founding group kind of pulled back, and the next group kind of stepped in, and the next group kind of stepped in, and so there's kind of just this continuous 7 generations, you know, kind of movement. We're probably on generation 6 right now, in Samara, and I may run out of time pretty soon, so let me just be quick here. It's like, for me, adios. I feel deeply tied into and connected to the spirit of Samara, and in that a part of the lineage of seeds in relationship to Haifa. So I feel like this ecosystem is in my DNA and mRNA, and I still choose to build with it and from it. I choose that now. And so I'm bringing about and working, in close collaboration with just another, but building on kind of what we're calling S cubed. So Haifa, when it was going through its change, became Haifa squared. And I was like, oh, we're gonna be S cubed, and I had no idea what I was talking about. But now I'm really seeing that from Samara to establishing Samara Trust was kind of our S squared, and I'm bringing about something based off of that DNA, this mRNA kind of growing over time, based off of all the learnings and so many different lineages and heritages I've been in as far as work and spirituality and life. Samara's Sanctuary Studio. And it's meant to be a place of safety, support, and stability in the creative process of finding ways to kind of germinate seeds of self-love. Do so by kind of generating containers of collective resonance that guide harmony and human organizing as a way to really gestate pools of prosperous work. And that's like our hypothesis, that self-love and collective resonance harmonically organizes prosperous work. And so Samara Sanctuary Studios, or S cubed, is born from a life of work on my part, but also it is a child. It is an organizing force that comes from Samara and therefore seeds. It comes from the Regenerative Renaissance. It comes from the hearts and the minds and the tools and the resources and the forms of everyone who has informed and been a part of our work so far. And I hope to bring, I plan on showing up tomorrow for the gratitude circle, and when I'm there, I'll represent this third. I said there's been like 6 generations, but I really this third form, this third organizational form, S cubed, of Samara. So the field of Samara, allowing for the facilitation and the founding of Samara Trust, and Samara Trust being the infrastructure, the kind of foundation by which Samara Sanctuary Studios is entering the world. And I could say a lot more about it in the future, but I'll answer the last question now. What type of creator am I? Man, I got a brain, and I love using it. I got hella heart. And so I will sit with my heart open and listen and speak to and bring what I can. I'm like a nervous system, I think. I'm really sensitive to the field, and I have the capacity to not only feel the field, but also to shape the field through regulation of self, helping the other regulate through deep listening or through practices or through, going into it, deep discussion and kind of and talking. But also can create fields, through self, through other, and service to the whole. I'm good at helping to hold and stabilize and ground and embody and embed fields and technology and people and in organizations, and in that helping to ground the spirit into that. And so I call myself the startup shaman, and people call me that too, because there is a really beautiful blend in me of startup. So building, creating, making, doing, organizing, designing, funding, doing these things. But also there's a shaman in me that kind of sees all this as a healing process for the earth, for ourselves, for each other, and being willing to go into the mud and the muck and the shadow and the underworld and the above and walk the middle world and do so in service to the whole, because I can't help but do it. And I'm here for that. Thanks for listening, and I hope to see y'all tomorrow.